Salford in a fortnight's time. For the losers, the season will be over. It's a huge 80 minutes ahead tonight for the team that finished in third and the team that finished in sixth. Robbie Hunter, Paul, I don't think league form really matters when it gets to knockout football, does it?
No, this is brilliant. I'm really looking forward to it. The build-up's been great. Excitement, yes, you're going up against a team that has so much depth and experience, St. Helens, in this playoff rugby league. And Sam's been trying to build something really special here at Warrington. A lot of these players played in the Challenge Cup final, but this is playoff Super League. Let's get it underway.
Crowd alight.
Well, it certainly has. Perfect use of the conditions there. If you're at home, you'll see Tommy Makinson just putting his hand up in the air there. He's looking directly into the sun. Lost the ball there. You've got to get underneath. You've got to use your hand. You've got to block out the sun and just watch the ball come down in silhouette, get a feel for it. That's a golden opportunity here for the Warrington Wolves.
And such an experienced player as well, Tommy Makinson. The lineups this evening, both strong. Warrington, not many changes at all for them. Paul Vaughan is back from a 3-match suspension. He's on the bench for them tonight. St. Helens, not many changes for them either, as Williams, with ball in hand, gives it to Duffy, who's just within reaching distance now of that try line in the first of the set. Good defence from St. Helens, getting numbers in there around the man. Clark finds Williams. The step comes in from Musgrove. St. Helens already right back on that whitewash, having to defend. Drinkwater, fast hands, Williams finds Duffy, and there's space, and there's the first try, and it's Toby King for Warrington. They get off to the ideal start on the back of the St. Helens error.
Absolutely incredible build-up there by Warrington. They did everything right. Smart play, initially starting with their kick-off into the sun, putting the St. Helens backfield under pressure. Tommy Makinson couldn't come up with the catch, gave them position, field position, scrum, then moved it out to the right-hand side, opened up the space. Lead runners going through. As you can see, Tommy Makinson has not used his hand to block out the ball going into the sun, and they've just set up the space, spread it from one side of the field. Dufty turned up 2 plays earlier on the right-hand side of the field, 1 play the ball, then he turns up on the left-hand side of the field, creates the overlap with the runners moving through, and there you have the 2-on-1. And Toby King, you know, that's a smart play. He could have made the pass, but he knew he was basically over the try line, nose down, backside up in the air, ball down over the try line. It's try time.
A confident start from the home side.
Sharon, we're standing just above the Warrington supporters. Honestly, when that try went over, we nearly got blasted into the stratosphere.
I'm actually struggling to hear you. It's so loud and amongst the Warrington fans at the moment. So let's see if Warrington can add further to this start. Josh Thewlis with the kicking duties. He's been in fine form with the boot this year. And if you think it was loud when the try went in, wait for this. Well, that talked him out of that one, didn't it? 4-0 then, the scoreline, but Warrington, the dream start.
So I expect the conversation. Johnny Lomax would have been in there. Okay, let's just calm this stuff down. You know, this is an anomaly. We don't normally give this sort of field position in the first play of the game and give up opportunities like this for Toby King to get over in the corner. Let's just settle the ship down, get into the arm wrestle and do what we do best.
Well, we're saying that both of these sides have strong teams out there this evening. Paul Vaughan back from Warrington after a 3-match suspension. For St. Helens, Darryl Clark is back in that starting lineup. And that really will be good news for both coaches in who they can field for this one tonight. You want your strongest sides out when you get to this stage of the season. You want the injury situations to have played up, and that's certainly the case for both of these two this evening. As Warrington try and build their way forward again through the centre of the field.
Just pass the line, Johnny. Hold, go for.
The carry from Curry. Half a step around, but Dodd alive to that for Saints.
Expect this ball to go up in the air again.
And it's Williams
kicking
with
into
the
that
kick.
corner.
Taken safely that time by Makinson. The conditions this evening are ideal. It's not too hot. That sun will be the only problem in that corner where Makinson knocked on in the opening stages.
Yeah, it's actually quite nice, Sharon. As you know, I was all wrapped up. I had my leather gloves on and everything, and I've had to strip down because it's red hot in the stadium.
So St Helens, can they build with this set of 6? Ball goes to Whitley. Again, good defence. Warrington there in 2s and 3s. Driving sense back as Clark takes it from acting half. And that's a strong drive. Strong drive from St Helens. And again, we see the kick. Warrington in the shade down that end of the field. So Dufty, no problem at all with that one. And Warrington will look to try and put a little more pressure on St Helens.
Yeah, I don't think St Helens would have been too fazed by the early score. They're an experienced team. They know what it takes. They know that playoff rugby league is an 80-minute game. But I tell you what, that's going to make it tougher. You need to hold your discipline. You can't give the opposition free rides out of their own half. They know better than that. You've got to get into the arm wrestle. You've got to make them draw. You've got to draw energy out of them. And when you give away free penalties and free scrums and free points, makes it too hard a task. But, you know, it's early in the game.
Come on, boys, let's start
So the 3 yards really piggybacking Warrington downfield.
You're on the mark, Danny. Hold this 10 out.
Of course, St Helens, plenty of experience in their coaching staff and in this squad about finals football and what it's like to reach that last dance at Old Trafford for the grand final. But at the moment, it's Warrington with their noses in front as Musgrove takes the carry. Clark. Curry goes as a dummy runner, as Curry takes the ball, sorry, with Williams going through. And Warrington slowly trying to get a bit more of an advantage with Yates. Signed, of course, midway through this season from Huddersfield. And certainly made a shirt his own as the kick goes forward. Again from Williams into space. Bennison is there and just gets it over the dead ball line. And pressure again coming from Warrington.
Yeah, great work there by John Bennison, just shepherding the ball over the try line, over the dead ball line, not allowing Warrington's players to get in there and tap it back into the field of play. Just doing his job there. Absolutely brilliant wingman work.
Did well not to make contact with that ball as well, I think, John Bennison there. So St Helens already coming up to the 40-metre line. The drive met with boos as Knowles gets to his feet and plays it, and Saints find themselves back into that Warrington half of the field. Here's Lomax now in possession. He missed a few games during the middle of the season when St Helens had that slump. Back in the side now as Batchelor now plays the ball, gets to his feet. Here's Wellesby along the line. St Helens looking for Lees, who straightens up. Good drive from the prop forward. Named in the dream team earlier this week. Last of the set, indicated by the referee, Liam Moore. Back to Wellesby. He's not going to get that away. He'll be wrapped up in the tackle. Disappointing way to end the set for Saints.
Hey, Luke Gegg takes a bow. He saw that coming. He jumped up out of the line, got a hold of Jack Wellesby and locked on. As front rowers go, Luke Yates isn't the biggest player in the world, but watch him here. He just clamps on and he's not letting go. And that's a great place to start your set.
Tough player, Luke Yates, as well, isn't he? A good one to have.
He's tough. Such a tough. Show me a player as tough as he is. His mental strength is just so strong, and he backs it up with a physical prowess.
The intensity rising, it feels from the crowd. Still plenty of noise coming from both sets. And they expect as the game goes on the field, the intensity will continue to pick up as well as the kick long comes downfield. Sends Saints backpedaling. Bennison takes it cleanly. And again met with a big hit. John Bateman, the man there for Warrington. Wellesby at in half. Whoa, big hit there too from Curry. Some massive tackles coming in, some really big contacts from the Wolves.
Oh, it is one of the most interesting factors of the Wolves over the past 3 games. They've barely gifted up a point. One of the things that Sam Burgess has spoken about this week is the pride of their defense. And that's not him as a coach, that's the team, the pride that they put into defensive efforts and just starving teams of points.
Clark looking to pick the pace up, going himself from acting half a chance there as well. Warrington just falling off the tackle slightly. We're on the last, it goes to Dodd. Kick over the top, it's being watched by plenty of men in primrose and blue, and it's Duffy who leaps the highest and makes sure that possession is safe.
Yeah, good finishing set there by Saints. That's exactly where you want. If you're not over the try line, you want the opposition running 1 metre from their try line. It's a great defensive start for them as well.
Satai now back in the side this week, missed out last week through a minor injury. Just bringing Warrington outside of their own tenors. They try and keep that going forward and building momentum, and that's what both sides have been looking for, getting some sort of pattern and momentum to these early stages. Still is early, despite having a try already.
Oh, certainly. It becomes the energy game. That's why that early try there scored by Warrington is an anomaly. It's not normal in the game. So you get that, you put that behind you, move on. Now it's about trying to wear down the opposition and take some energy out of them. It's been a long season for these players.
A long season, but we're certainly at the business end.
Interesting just to see all the St. Helens players just struggling to get back on side. Oh, and that's a relief. That is a relief. Well, the St. Helens forwards were just walking back, and that's not a great sign.
And the quick tap taken by Makinson. Of course, a lot of these St. Helens players have had time out with injury this season as well, and only just coming back into the side. For some, a full 80 is probably still a little bit of an ask.
Oh, certainly. By now, I would have expected Walmsley to have at least had 5 or 6 carries. He's only had a couple. But what Warrington don't want, they don't want Alex Walmsley to warm up. That moving metal pole, what he is, just puts too much pressure on the line.
Well, here goes Clark, and 6 again indicated by the referee. Saints now, it's their turn to put pressure on the Warrington line. Dodd, back to Lees. He drives and pushes towards the line. Can't get the better of Warrington's defence. Clark, back to Dodd, keeping it moving. Lomax, high ball out wide, and that is a response. It could be from Makinson. Did he get the ball down cleanly? The referee will take a look at this one, sending up to the video referee, Chris Kendall, this evening. Soft signal of a try of St. Helens, equalised.
Okay, tackle 2, we have a live call of try. We're checking the grounding and touchline plays. Makinson's in possession, it's a fair challenge. And the ball appears to be grounding. Can we check the back angle, please, to make sure that his feet are in the air? Okay, that's blocked. If we could go to camera 3, please. Okay, yeah, look at this. Okay, I'm happy that the ball's grounded. I need to decipher whether his legs or body are down or not. I can't really tell on that angle. Have we got anything else? Okay, this may show me more. Can we just go back a few frames on this, please? Okay, so he jumps from the field of play. Okay, is his right foot down or not? Can we go back a couple of frames, please? Okay, go through from here, please, nice and slow. Have we got any other angles, please? Okay, can we go back to camera 5, please?
I got the one from behind, Chris.
Is the camera 3 again, please? And I think the camera from the other corner is blocked, isn't it?
Cheers, Chris.
Yeah, let's watch for this again, please. See if I can see his feet. Okay, I've viewed all the available angles. I have insufficient evidence to overturn the live call of try. I've viewed the angles I need. I've made my decision.
Cheers, mate.
This could be tight. Decision stands. Tommy Makinson makes up for the error in the opening move of the game and brings it all square.
And there we have it, Sharon. If there's any team that can be cool, calm and collected under those sort of circumstances, it is St. Helens. They know that they'll get their opportunities, and they know that they just need to execute properly when those opportunities come their way. And there's no better player to do that than Tommy Makinson. Get an inch. You can see players are coming through, just holding up the defense, running that. And how many times you've seen Johnny Lomax give that ball over the top to Tommy Makinson, and what do we see? We see the Superman reach. There's no one that does. No one in the Super League that does this better.
On his 350th career appearance, he'll be hoping it's not his last either in a St. Helens shirt, of course, moving on to Catalan Dragons next year. And it's Mark Percival with the kicking duties tonight for St. Helens to try to put them ahead. Still early in this game, but potentially it could be a huge kick if it's going to be tight. And that is a great effort from the touchline. St. Helens sneak ahead.
Cometh the hour, cometh the man. They needed the 2 points. Matty Ashton just jumps upstream there just to try and shut the play down on Johnny Lomax, giving Makinson the opportunity on the outside. And he's so dangerous. He's just so, we've seen him score so many tries like that over the Super League years in those corners.
So game on. Huge tackle again from Warrington. Both sides tackling with real intent. And that is also the first try that Warrington have conceded in 4 games. The last points they conceded was 3 matches ago against St. Helens, and that was just a penalty goal. They have nilled their last 2 opponents. So kudos, credit to St. Helens for cracking that defence tonight of the Wolves. And what a stage to do it on as well. The winners of tonight's game, if it's Warrington, they will travel to Hull Kingston Rovers next week. If it is St. Helens, they set up a real derby game against Wigan, with everyone then just 80 minutes away from Old Trafford. Fewless thought he'd got away with that. The referee spotted the knock-on. And again, we find St. Helens in great position.
Yes, that's a great, you can just get that feeling that St. Helens has that momentum at the moment. They got an early slap in the face with that try scored against them, but they've just come back into the game. Did he drop that? Did he actually lose that? No, it came forward, but did it hit the ground? Yeah, it bounces off the ground, doesn't it? Yep.
Yeah, you can see separation.
Just slipping. Just slipping as he goes to catch the ball. But Saints' opportunity now. And this is a different St. Helens team. I've been watching them over the past 3 weeks, and this is a different team. They just seem to have raised their game for the occasion. They're looking a lot more glued up as they have been over the past couple of weeks as well.
So here we go again, Saints on the attack with Percival. Again, what a drive from Warrington. And don't forget Wigan against whoever they play. You can see that here on BBC 2 next Saturday, the Super League semi-final from 5:15. There's also the 5 Live Rugby League podcast available now with Tanya Arnold looking ahead to what's to come in the playoffs, both men and women, and you can see highlights all season through BBC Sport on the website and app as well. But who will it be tonight? Will it be Warrington or Saints that carry on their season? A pass out wide again to Makinson. Warrington scrambling in defence. And St. Helens will swing the ball to Matautia. And the referee, bang on the spot, blows the whistle. And it's a penalty to Warrington.
Yeah, a little bit uncomfortable there. Look, I'm surprised the penalty was given because Sione Matautia there, he gave himself up, and that's generally something that's gifted. If the player realizes that he's running an offside position and he gives himself up, the referees normally play on, but if the penalty's going there, he did break the rules, so fair enough. I think they've let Warrington off the hook there, just with a simple play. A poor, disciplined decision.
That would have been a great chance for St. Helens to try and extend their lead. Warrington will be breathing a huge sigh of relief as James Harrison goes forward on off the bench for the Wolves. Curry Hands along the line. This is looking nice from Warrington. Here's Ty, takes the ball. He's got support from Fulis, who cuts back inside. And Warrington, 6 again indicated by the referee. Looking for a quicker play of the ball. They've got the result they needed from that as Williams is brought down. And you just feel momentum is maybe swinging back the way of the Wolves with Yates. Edging towards the line now. Drinkwater finds Williams, again looking for space outside, finds King once more. St Helens alive to it that time. Good defence from Saints, quick though from acting half. And St Helens really being tested. Ashton plays the ball. Now it's Harrison again. On the last for the Wolves. Walker sends it to Drinkwater. Support from Dufty. Here we go with Fulis. Has he got the dancing feet? He hasn't. He tried to get that ball away to Ty. It's gone forward. The St Helens defenders in some great position around the ball carrier. And this time it's Warrington who miss a potential chance.
Yeah, some great scrambling defence there by St Helens. They needed to. Warrington had jumped up on their numbers, throwing a lot more numbers than St Helens had defensively, but they scrambled across. They used their sliding defence to great advantage there. Able to come away with the spoils.
Both sides have defended so well so far in this one. As St Helens move the ball to Matautia, another player who will be playing his last this season in a St Helens shirt, moving on at the end of the year, whenever that will be. One of these teams, their season ends here tonight. As Whitley takes the ball for Saints. This is the last. This is a good set from Warrington, keeping St Helens back inside their own 40. Lomax. Again, beautifully taken by Dufty. Long ball to Ashton. He tries to use his pace to get around the defence. He can't. Batchelor is there with the tackle for St Helens. And Warrington will slowly again try to build that momentum and that pressure upfield. Ty once more. Runs straight at that wall of red and white. No way through yet for the Wolves. As the ball goes back to Williams. Bit of a hop. Is that space opening up for Williams? St Helens move forward. They stay calm. They move together. They complete the tackle. Here's Fulis. And already again, we find ourselves on the last of the set. Walker, back to Drinkwater. That could be a bit of a tester. Well done from Wellesby. Despite the pressure from Warrington, and St Helens will start again.
Well, I'll tell you this, it must be a lonely place back there when you're putting the ball up on the side where Roderick Ty is on, because he comes like an exit missile. He just flies in there at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So you know you're going to cop it, but great take there under pressure.
Ty, the Papua New Guinean international in this Wolves side. As St Helens try and build once more. Knowles to Lees, what a combination they are up the centre of the field for St Helens. This is the last of the set. Clark away to Dodd. Again, we see another tester for Dufty. Again, Dufty passes that test. Runs backwards before trying to go forwards, and for a second there, I thought he was going to pass that ball.
Yeah, run backwards, but then he ran into Sione Matautia, and everything just came to a halt. Great place for St Helens to start. Look, when you've got a player like Dufty, you've got to get a solid line. You've got to know that he's going to move, because if it's not structured, he's going to rip you to shreds, and you'll be turning around, chasing him towards your own try line. So it looks like St Helens have done their homework on Matt Dufty.
Dufty has caused so many problems for opposition teams as this season's gone on. He's been in fine form. Another one of the Dream Team members that was announced at the start of this week. And they've been looking to make sure it's Warrington's dream that continues tonight as well. And here we go up the centre of the field with a break from that man, Dufty.
And Matty Ashton outside him on the left-hand wing.
This is the last. Can they keep that momentum going? St Helens still getting back in defence, and the space out wide for Ashton, who takes the ball. Again, has to come back inside to try and find space. Drinkwater looks for the fancy feet, and St Helens get there with the tackle. Somehow the ball is kept alive, and now it's as good as a pass into the arms of Wellesby.
Matt Whitley take a bow. Matt Whitley take a bow. He's just chased 4 of the most destructive attacking players on his own, and he's forced them into a really poor kick. Absolutely brilliant play. Good defensive work.
It was Duffy, wasn't it, on a wing and a prayer as he let that ball go back into space for someone to try and just get a bit further forward upfield. And if anybody ever questioned about the intensity of the playoffs, we saw last night Lee and Salford. We certainly don't need to see this evening about intensity because it's here in front of us. St Helens again moving the ball out wide. Matautia brought down. This will be the last. Kick again from Dodd. Again, it's a tester. And again, it could have come off this time with Makinson. Set of 6 for Saints, inside the 10. Duffy not so sure underneath it that time. And it's Lees. St Helens pushing towards their own fans. They will fancy their chances from this position. Dodd keeping it going to Lomax. Wellesby finds Percival! And Mark Percival stretches the lead for St Helens, but the referee again isn't convinced. It will go up again to the video referee and go up as a try.
Okay, it's tackle 1. We have a live call of try. We're checking the grounding. Go on from here, please. Players in possession. And appears to grab the ball. Can I just get the other corner view, please? Yeah, go on this one, please. Nice and slow. And the ball is grounded. I've viewed the angles I need. I've made my decision.
And St Helens go further in front. 10 points to 6. They've been saying all week, don't write off the Saints. Well, so far, so good.
And that's 100% just about building pressure. They got down into Warrington's 30-metre zone. They put up a short, high kick. They got numbers going through. Duffy under pressure. So many players there. The ball just comes out, as it always does. And then they didn't panic, built the pressure, players coming through. And the decision that Mark Percival takes here is a carbon copy of what Toby King did in the opening try of the game. He just decided, I'm going to get my head down, my backside up, I'm going to get over the try line, I'm going to run direct, I'm going to run hard and strong, and my momentum, my size, my speed is going to get me over the try line. Bang, try time.
Yeah, it's been nice and loud, boys.
And it's his 250th career appearance as well.
Oh, he loved that. He got up, pumped up, launches the ball, Abbott.
Well, Kenny had the extras to his own try. Well, we said about those kicks that were going down to Matt Duffy and how he'd passed every test with flying colours. And the one he couldn't take, they've paid the ultimate price for it. So the noise ramps up again at the Halliwell Jones. As Percival is bang on, 2 from 2.
Hearing from Paul Wellens before the game, talking about his experienced players, talking about them stepping up when the time was right. They know in games like this, they've got to take their game to a whole other level, playoff level. And this is Mark Percival taking his game to the playoff level.
So we're underway again with St Helens in possession, and that's a strong and confident carry as well from George Delaney on off the bench, replacing Alex Walmsley, who's done his first stint of the evening.
2. Move, just pass the round, boys. Hold George.
And Delaney
Goal, 2, good.
certainly one for the future for St Helens. Had a great season breaking through these last couple of years. having come through at the club.
Goal free, good.
As now Clark looks to pick up the pace as well from acting half.
They can't let Daryl Clark start getting a sniff of the game. They've got to make sure that they stay strong at the ruck. Daryl Clark gets a sniff of the game, everything's going to be on the back foot for Warrington, and it just draws so much energy out of it. There's a lot of game to play, but they need to make sure that they're very good at the breakdown.
This is the last, this time. The Dufty/Hewlett to have a go at that. Almost a little bit of miscommunication at the back, but Dufty makes it stick.
That isn't a good sign. That isn't a good sign for Warrington when players are running into each other in the backfield. I mean, that's every day of the week, that's Matt Dufty's ball. He's a fullback, he's a captain back there.
You would imagine somebody called and perhaps put a name on it, but the other one maybe just ignored it.
Everyone put a name on it.
So let's see if Warrington can hit back. Catching St Helens cold in the first couple of minutes of this game with the error from Tommy Makinson, setting things up and Toby King going in. But since then, Warrington haven't really troubled that St Helens line too much.
Goal 5.
Last of the set for the Wolves.
40.
And actually, that's a bit of a sign as well. Danny Walker has barely run from acting half, and that generally suggests the amount of momentum that the Warrington forward pack have been or unable to get in the game so far. When they're getting their noses in front, getting quick play the ball, Danny Walker jumps out acting half and he creates more space. We've hardly seen anything from him so far in this game, and it's been 27 minutes.
Well, the big man's on off the bench. Paul Vaughan back from a 3-match suspension. He should lift this Warrington Wolves side. But it's St Helens in command on the scoreboard and in command with the territory in possession at the moment as well, as Clark again goes from acting half to Knowles, who's got Delaney.
5. Move!
On the last then, for St Helens.
5.
Clark assesses, goes to Lomax. Again, the tester is there. Dufty passes again. Passes the test and finds space. Just gets caught around the ankles from Makinson. Just did enough there to stop his momentum.
Oh, I tell you what, you've got to put some numbers on. You can't just go out on him on your own. He's too quick. He can stop and start on a dime and go from 0 to 60 mile an hour in the space of half a split second, and he does it time and time again.
And there is that big man Vaughan with the drive in the middle of the field. As Warrington try and find the way, very much at the centre at the moment, trying to find the gaps at the middle of the field in that St Helens defence. It's not quite coming off for them at the moment, but they are sticking to that plan as that wide ball goes out now and finds Ashton. Always a dangerous player when he's got a little bit of space. St Helens making sure he's not got it then, as this comes on the last with the kick. And again, you see the ball taken cleanly by Wellesby, and St Helens absorb that pressure.
I've got to say this, Sharon, I think it's the first time in about 15 minutes you and I have looked to the right-hand side of the field, inside where St Helens has actually started a set inside their own 10-metre. And that tells you the quality of what St Helens go forward when they've got the ball in hand, and equally their defence when they've been making the tackles. They really do know how to take their game to playoff level.
I just wonder, I will just slightly question at the moment the Warrington defence. The intensity levels still going in hard with the contact, but the intensity levels for me have just dropped off a little at times.
Well, it's a sign that we've seen there. Daryl Clark wasn't taking the ground. He was able to stay on his feet and play the ball. It takes energy out of you getting off the ground. Equally, it slows everything down, meaning the kicker will get a worse kick away because they haven't got as much time, and your defence can set a lot better. So, yeah, those are the telltale signs that I agree with you on.
So tie again for the Wolves. Ashton at the centre of the field, of course. Plenty still to be done with this season, but there are internationals to come this season as Harrison breaks through but drops the ball. England against Samoa on the 27th of October and the 2nd of November. You can see both of those here on the BBC. And there's a women's international as well. England against Wales, also on the 2nd of November. You can find that too on the BBC with you right through the autumn. Also for the wheelchair international between England and France on October the 26th. So while the Super League season might finish, there's still rugby league to come before the end of the year here on the BBC. Here's passing now for St Helens. We said, Robbie, about this side being a stronger looking side for St Helens. They've got a heck of a bench. We saw James Bell there as well as the ball goes around to Wellesby. Makinson again in space on that far side. But the strength of St Helens could tell here as Matautia is brought down. They're still looking solid as Saints going forward on the short side. And as Makinson crashed through for his second of the game, again, it won't be Liam Moore who decides. It will be video referee Chris Kendall. Moore thinks it's a try. Will Chris Kendall?
Okay, it's tackle 5. We have a live call of try. We're checking the grounding, please. Makinson takes possession. Okay, if you just go back on this, it looked short originally. Okay, play on from here now. Okay, it's short at that point. You can clearly see green. The ball does get down, but is Makinson still in possession of the ball at that point? Have we got any other angle, please? This might show me more. We go from here now. Okay, so it's short. Makinson's hand is still on the ball. It's still on it. I then lose sight of the hand on the ball. Okay, at the point that the ball gets to the floor, his hand is still on it. I do lose the hand for a period of time. Can we just check any other angles, please, to make sure that his hand never comes off the ball? Okay, can we go back to the handheld, please? Okay, we'll run it through on here. So we've got a live call of try. So the on-field view is that his hand stays on the ball at all times. Hand is still on the ball, I lose it. And then the ball is on the floor. I'm happy I've viewed the angles I need. I've made my decision.
Cheers, Chris.
So is it a second for Tommy Makinson? Yes, it is! And St Helens just take a little more control.
Well, certainly. Look, everything's on the front foot for St Helens. They've taken the ball from inside their own 10-metre zone. They've marched all the way down the other end of the field. They've got themselves into position, and everything is just on the front foot. When you're defending your try line, both sides of the ruck, the pillar defenders, they have to get off. And you can see the pillar defender there, Josh Drinkwater, he was way too wide of the mark. Jack Wellesby just sucked in the marker there. Tommy Makinson, he saw the space, just ran that hard line. Too much space around right when you're defending your own try line. That's got to be a really aggressive position. You've got to get your numbers right and you've got to get forward. Because when you've got smart players like Jack Wellesby, who's involved in everything, he's going to sniff that out. And players like Tommy Makinson, who's been there, done that, understands it intimately, will take the opportunities when they come. And that's playoff football. That's playoff rugby. When you get your opportunities, you execute.
1 minute, mate.
A little nod from Tommy Makinson to the crowd after he rose to his feet after getting that ball down. Almost acknowledgement, of course, of the St Helens fans who were at that end of the field. Now will it be 3 from 3 from Mark Percival? Oh! I think about the skin of your teeth. I think the layer of paint on a post.
I've got to say this. I'll be thinking, if I was Sam Burgess, I'll be thinking, we need half-time to come. We need to stop this momentum that's going on. We need to reset. We need to have a word. We need to get our numbers together. We need to work as a team. How we've been working all season long. Take those experiences and don't get overwhelmed by the scoreline and the time that's left on the field, and go back to our process and do what we do well.
Well, in big games like this, you want your experienced players to stand up, and I think St Helens have certainly got quite a few examples of that on the field so far in this first half. Here's Delaney as the whistle goes from the referee. An error at the play of the ball.
There we go. There we go.
Could just be what that man is looking for his side. And it'll for the best position we've seen Warrington in for
Paul
like
Welland
ages.
Paul Welland would love a 12-point deficit going in at half-time. But how often do we see the last few moments of a half, in the first half, points is put on the board, tries to score, and they can do it. And they know, I mean, Warrington, they know that they need to put some points on so they can go on with a little bit more confidence.
And Harrison brought down 10 metres away from the line. Warrington Wolves, can they close this gap? Curry to Williams. Here's Bateman. Bit of a kick of the feet.
Bateman's got that right foot crab style step that he brings it back to the middle of the park. But look at the numbers out wide for Warrington.
Shipping it towards the right, long ball out wide, finds Thewlis. With the step, with the dummy. 5 metres out, Ty looking for that long ball. Here's Curry, keeping it moving to Vaughan. Out the line is Batchelor, but Vaughan makes a few more metres. On the last, Vaughan gets to his feet, and it's clean and away to Drinkwater. Keeps it moving to Williams, who evades that defence. Nice ball, what a pass!
What a pass!
What a wonderful ball from Williams! And Matty Ashton gets the try in the corner. The referee is happy. The Wolves fans are ecstatic.
There was nothing really going on there. St. Helens did have the numbers, they just needed to man up. And there's something that happens when you get a smart halfback, a world-class halfback, gets the ball in hand and he starts moving it around. Is he going to pass left? Is he going to step off his left foot? What's he going to do? Next minute he ducks behind the ruck. He just gets in behind a player and causes mayhem. In behind there, small pass behind the back. Matty Ashton's on the spot. Comes back against the line, and there's no one that loves a try line better than Matty Ashton. Look at that, over the top, behind players, deft little pass, try time. Starts showing the ball, shows out left, starts a little wiggle, the ball comes by it. When you get those little halfbacks and they've got that little wiggle on, I'll tell you, the wiggle it bamboozles defenders. Their eyes start doing things. Is he going to pass it? Is he going to sidestep? What's he going to do? And you're lying. You know, the players just get upstream, space opens up, and players with the class of George Williams, they capitalise on those small opportunities.
So another of the dream team contingent from Warrington Wolves, Matty Ashton, has also scored a try in the last 3 games against St. Helens. They'll be having nightmares about Ashton down that Saints right-hand side. But it's the opposite winger, Josh Thewlis, now, who's got the responsibility of trying to close that gap to 6 points as we head towards half-time. Never in doubt.
Game on. Game on. And there's no better way to break momentum of the opposition than scoring a try. Or coming off the back of an error. That's one thing, you can't let up. The intensity is just too much, and these teams are too good. You can't give each other an inch.
So a vital try there for Warrington at this stage of the game. Just to remind you, if Warrington win, they travel to St. Helens. They travel to Hull KR even on Friday night. If St. Helens win, they go to Wigan next Saturday, and that would be the game that you can see here on the BBC next Saturday. And at that point, the winners of both of those games, they are through to the grand final. So plenty at stake tonight. One team's journey will continue, the other will have their season end. Neither wants it to be them, as Ty takes a great ball again and almost finds a gap down the centres.
What a defensive set by St. Helens here. I tell you what, they say attack is the best form of defence, and that's exactly what they've done with the defence. They're attacking Warrington's running players.
This has got to be the best St. Helens performance we've seen for weeks.
Oh, 100%. I think all season.
Certainly last week against Leigh, there was intensity in that game with so much at stake, with the final league positions to be decided. But they didn't quite match Leigh last week for that intensity, and they've taken it up a notch this week without a doubt. Here's Welsby at acting half to Percival. Back to Welsby. And Makinson, centre of the field, hunting for work.
Come on, Roderick, hold. Line'll do. Goal 2.
Wellesby again. Finds Lomax.
Third.
And St Helens really fancying the chances down that side of the field.
Third, good.
Had a little bit of joy really with the 2 tries from Makinson as Matautia goes forward now.
Move. Back 10. Goal 4.
There's Delaney. Big run from the young forward.
Great run. Great run.
Just 20 years old. If you think props don't tend to mature until they're a little older, there's plenty to come from that young man as the kick from Lomax. Well,
He went for a long drop kick. That won't make his highlight reel. Splat.
not the one who wants it to make anyway.
It'll make someone's highlight reel.
Move.
So the Wolves didn't have to really absorb much there with that kick from Lomax. And they come forward once more. 30 seconds to go in this first half. The first half, which has been a great example of the intensity of playoff rugby league. As Warrington look to find space again out wide with King, who takes the pass from Williams. Back inside. Batchelor sharp there in defence. As Nicholson gets to his feet, he had to be sharp to take that ball as well and keep possession for Warrington as the hooter goes in the background just as the ball's almost intercepted by Dodd. And the referee says both sides knock on. His hooter blows the whistle and everyone gets a chance to draw a breath, Robbie Hunterpole.
Oh, what an incredible first half. I absolutely loved every moment of that. Both teams going hammer and tong. We had the anomaly at the beginning of the game with the first drop ball by Tommy Makinson, setting up the opportunity for Warrington, which they capitalised on. Then for, I reckon, 30 minutes of the game, St Helens grew and grew and pretty much dominated. But when Warrington had their opportunity, they come back down the other end of the field. They've broken that momentum from St Helens and they were able to put points back on the board. Now there's only 6 points in it. Absolutely fantastic. Straight out of the top draw. Exactly what we wanted to see from playoff.
But plenty will separate them at the final whistle. One will go through to the semi-final next week. One will end their season here at the Halliwell Jones Stadium in the elimination semi-final. Which one will it be? Too close to call, Robbie Hunterpole?
Well, it is really close. I've got to admit, I'm more excited about the second half than I was at the beginning of the game, full stop. And I was really excited. Both teams have they've shown their cards in the opening 40 minutes. They've shown each other what they got. Now this is going to be about who wants it more. Who wants it more with the most discipline. Discipline plays a huge part in playoff rugby league. And that's what we've got to see here. But look, for Warrington, who haven't been, a lot of their players haven't been in this situation where it's do or die as much as St Helens have. They've got to make sure that the clock doesn't do crazy things to their minds and they just stick to their plan. If they stick to their plan because they've not played to their best and they start to play to 90-95%, then they'll put some pressure on St Helens' line.
Make sure the clock doesn't do crazy things to their mind. Also make sure the idea of this could be the last 40 minutes of a season doesn't do crazy things to people's minds as well, as the Wolves come forward for the first set of this second half. I said there wasn't much between them in the stats from that first half. The completion rate for Warrington was 82%, St Helens was 84%, 50% each of possession. Really not much at all to separate these two sides as far as paper is concerned. What you saw with your own eyes, you might have a separate opinion completely, but certainly what the stats and the scoreline tell you, not much between these two sides. As the kick comes from Drinkwater on the last, allowed to bounce, picked up well by Wellesby, and he will start the attack for St Helens.
Of these 40 minutes, this final 40 minutes, it could be the final 40 minutes of their season, is they've got to start winning more of the ruck. They've got to win defensively. They've got to slow St Helens down, which I don't think they did for 30 minutes of that opening half. And when they've got the ball in hand, when they're in attack, they need to play the ball a little bit quicker. We were talking about Danny Walker jumping out acting half and the pressure it puts on the opposition. He's not had the opportunity to do that because St Helens defense have really controlled the speed of the play of the ball and slowed Warrington's play the ball down. So they need to figure out a way of just getting one-on-one tackles so they can break tackles and get quick play the balls in.
Lomax with the kick on the last. Dufty all the time in the world to take that one, and he's straight into space outside his own 40. The defence get back with Wellesby. It's his opposite number who catches him, but a relieving run from the Warrington fullback, and now it's Ashton trying to get the motors going. And Warrington looking to pick up that pace and momentum down the centre of the field with Curry. Into the St Helens 30. Walker, big run. Could see him winding his motors up there, Harrison. Gains another few metres forward. Clark away to Drinkwater, finds Dufty with the combination. Great defence from St Helens. Dufty was not going any further there. And potentially now on the last, Warrington looking for a penalty. They're not going to get it. And it goes back to Drinkwater with the kick. And that will test him. Oh, batted back into space as Ty collects it. Can he get it away? He can, and he finds Williams. This could be interesting now. The grubber goes through as Thewlis comes in to collect it. Wellesby is there to greet him, and Thewlis taken into touch.
Yeah, that's some great play from Warrington. Look, we talked about in the opening half that you've got to make sure that you get numbers on Dufty. But you just watch Jack Wellesby here. He lets him take the ball, and on contact and catch of the ball, he then takes Thewlis over the sideline. But great, you know, we've been talking about he's already made nearly 100 metres in the opening half. He's just added another 60 metres to that total. But it's got to be big defence from Warrington now. They've got to think to themselves, last 40 minutes of the season, empty it, leave it all out here on the field.
Leave it all out and then worry about next week, should the situation occur. Because if you don't get through tonight, next week won't matter, as Parsi goes again with another huge carry for St Helens. Now it's Bell, stutters slightly as he comes towards that defensive line.
I've got to admit, one of the things I like about St Helens is they keep the pressure on Warrington's defence because they're set wider. At any time you can look, St Helens look like they can pass the ball out to their edges, and you're not getting that in the same way from Warrington at the moment.
High kick again coming from St Helens on the last. Thewlis with the catch. And again, St Helens are up there in the numbers. Saying about not much to separate these sides in the stats, just one has caught my eye. Missed tackles. St Helens 28, Warrington 12, which surprises me a little when you look at it like that, but that's what the numbers say. Still the Wolves in possession, still trying to get outside of their own half. Vaughan up the centre of the field. Just looks and turns in that tackle as if he was trying to find a man to get that ball away to, but took it safely himself. Curry back to Williams, keeping it moving, finds Ty. Ty again looking for support, but can't get that pass away cleanly and easily, and decides to hang on to it safely. Williams on the last with the kick. Makinson underneath it. Good pressure from Warrington, but Makinson never took his eyes off it.
Yeah, look, that's great defence by St Helens once again. They're putting pressure on Warrington's attack, making sure that they don't get great kicks away and they don't get all the way down the other side of the field. Now, St Helens are attacking from the 40-metre line.
And it's Percival who takes that tackle. Up the centre of the field again, but Wellesby running flat, looking to cause problems, and now Batchelor gets his head down and drives.
Wellesby is amongst everything. The fitness of Jack Wellesby must be absolutely incredible.
Yeah, suddenly gone into the acting half roll as the kick comes from Dodd. And again, Dufty's there. And despite the attentions from St Helens defenders, Dufty gets that possession. And
they know that's the type of play that they need to put against Matt Dufty. They need to put the ball up in the air, and when he's going up to catch it, they need to have 4 defenders around him and just sit him down. They can't allow him to have any time and ground and space on the ball.
Well, Warrington still again coming outside of their own 30. Don't forget, this is just the first of the playoff games here on the BBC across the next few weeks.
5. Move!
If Warrington win tonight, they will travel to Hull Kingston Rovers. If St Helens win, they will travel to Wigan. Wigan play next Saturday, still TBC. And you can join us on BBC Two from 5:15 next Saturday for that one. There's also the 5 Live Rugby League podcast available now with Tanya through BBC Sounds. And there's the Super League highlights all season available on the BBC Sport website or app. And St Helens go forward now again with Batchelor.
And this has been a telltale sign of the game. More often than not, Warrington are kicking out of their own half. And now you can see St Helens getting into Warrington's half of the field. So every kick that they put on from now on in will be an attacking kick. Everything's on the front foot still for St Helens. And Warrington need to figure out a way of controlling their play the balls, their speed, and how far they get forward.
Clark goes for Dodd with the kick. Again, well taken by Warrington. Fewless, the man who leaps like a salmon. And he needed to as well. There were chasers coming, thundering at him. And an error there from the Wolves could have been absolutely fatal. A juggle there. But Warrington hang on to possession through Bateman. A little bit of a scruffy play at the ball as well, and the referee isn't happy. And this is what St Helens would have been hoping for.
I've seen worse play the balls, I'll say that. But, you know, the letter of the law, they want to see that clean. Their ball's got to be rolled nicely back there. But, you know, this is not what Sam Burgess wanted to see from his team. I'm sure the word would have gone out. We need more quick play the balls. That's what John Bateman's trying to do. But now prime position here for St Helens to put on their play. And look at the shape. Great shape by St Helens.
The red V is looking good. As Lomax takes it, keeps it alive to Wellesby. And again, we see the run come in at the angle from Percival. And St Helens looking to ship the ball one way then the other, looking for the gaps to open up in that Wolves line. Clark, he's got the steam train coming through. But Mills can't hang on to that. And Warrington breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, a little bit of a miracle play, Morgan Knowles there. That's a bad decision. He's trying to get the pass away. Paul Vaughan, seeing what he's trying to do, just got in there enough just to disrupt it. A little bit of a knock on, they get the ball back. It lets the pressure off Warrington. He's trying to make up it with a big defence.
And Warrington now looking to get pace in their players. Ashton is smashed to the ground. Nicholson now. They need a quick play the ball to Warrington, but at the same time keep it controlled as Walker kicks across field and looks for space. That won't quite have the legs to get past Bennison. And St Helens take the ball. They're back deep inside their own half, but that kick from Walker was needed.
These early carries by the outside back of St Helens, it's been an earmark of the modern Super League game for them. Tommy Makinson, Bennison, Percival. I mean, they run like back rowers, front rowers. They run so fast and they get quick play the balls. And then you got a guy like this, Jack Wellesby, who's just getting amongst everything. Incredible speed and agility to boot and pull himself out of tackles. It just puts so much pressure on a defensive line.
Well, the Warrington fans didn't like that play the ball from Wellesby. Those were the jeers you could hear. And this is the last of the set for St Helens. And again, we see the high kick coming and the high kick testing Fewless.
And that's a sign as well. Lewis Dodd had 15 metres to run with the ball in hand. No kick pressure. Everything about St Helens is on the front foot at the moment. And Warrington at this point in time are really struggling with their speed of the play the ball. Everything just a bit too fast for them.
Well, I know we said in the first half about how Saints have really lifted their intensity levels this evening in the first half, and my goodness me, they've come out and done exactly the same again in this second, both in defence and in attack, and they've hit the ground running, I think, in this half.
Oh, certainly. They know how to play this style of rugby league. It's a very highly pressurised. It's nothing like the league competition. This is playoff rugby league. This is do or die rugby league. There's no tomorrow. You've got to get up and you've got to put the yards in. You've got to do the right thing.
So penalty for a ball steal for the Warrington Wolves.
Ball stolen, mate.
This should give them a few more vital metres upfield.
Your Darryl Clark just on the ball there. His pressure on the ball. One of the jobs you're told as a defending player is lock the ball up. And you can see he's got the ball locked up. Now this come down. I think it's just I don't think it's a reef. He's not pulled it out, but just the fact that he's on the ball and his momentum has just pulled the ball free. So yeah, penalty. There's a great opportunity to once again for Warrington to stop their momentum as St. Helens is just throwing at them at the moment.
Well, the noise levels have lifted a gear again at the Halliwell Jones as the home support try and get behind their Wolves. Sam Powell on from the bench, appealing to the referee for a penalty, but nothing given. And Warrington will try and edge their way further upfield, putting pressure on that sense line. Just 6 points between the teams. Here's Williams. Well read by the St. Helens defence. The gap closed up. Powell, centre of the field to Drinkwater. Philbin with the carry, on from the bench. 10 metres out. Powell switches it again back to Williams, who sees the angle, sees the gap. Toby King! 2 for Toby King! And this one closes that gap. And once again, it's game on.
I was going to talk about, I was just thinking to myself, we're coming up to the 25-minute mark where there's only 25 minutes to go. George Williams needs to start taking control of this game. He needs to get the ball in hand. He needs to take the line on. He needs to just disrupt everything about St. Helens at this moment, and that's exactly what happened. In that set, within 3 plays, he's touched the ball twice. He's created space just to the line. Pick the man out, the right man out. That's the important thing. He's a master at making the right decision. He's got Nicholson on the short ball. Sonny Metaltias just dropped his left shoulder coming in. There's no point of return where he can come back on Toby King. Toby King gets a free run into the try line, his 2nd try of the day. George Williams is the man for Warrington to unlock this game.
A big player to step up, as we mentioned again in the first half. Looking at that Warrington side, George Williams, the England captain, could well be it. Two tries for that man in this game. And now it's up to Josh Thewlis to try and convert. Just for the 2nd time this evening. And we're tied. This last 25 minutes, it's going to be tense.
Well, I tell you what, Sharon, in the first half, we said Warrington have to figure out a way of breaking St. Helens' momentum. They did it with a try. We just said it then, they need to figure out another way. Well, they've done it again with a try. And both of those tries have come from George Williams. Play of George Williams taking the ball to the line, pulling in players, making the right decision on a pass, and coming away and putting 4 points on the board.
Well, George Williams stepped up when his side needed him. And if we thought he was too close to call at the start of this half, I don't think anybody's opinion has changed. A huge hit from the St. Helens defence. They're letting the Warrington players know that, yeah, they might have scored, they might have brought the points level, but they're going nowhere. Big carry.
And this is why this game is so great, because both teams, it doesn't matter about momentum, both teams have game breakers and game winners in it. Guys that can go the length of the field, guys that can play off the back of a small amount of momentum, and even players that can create their own shape out of absolutely nothing.
Well, here we go again with King, and he's in space, and he's got support, but they can't get the ball over the top of Makinson, who positioned himself well. The Warrington players straight across to referee Liam Moore. The knock-on given.
Now, Faye and Kevin were talking about at half-time how they felt that Tioni Mcaltia, who isn't a full-time centre, maybe the opportunity for Warrington to pick on because of his numbers shaping and the fact that as a back rower, which he normally plays, he likes to come in. And we've seen that in this second half. Twice have come down that side. The last time was led to a try. Again, they're picking on that side, creating space in and around Tioni Mcaltia.
Well, Warrington not happy that it's not their head and feed to the scrum, but Makington getting a hand to it and basically pushing it towards his own line, which isn't a knock-on.
No.
So St Helens with the possession. And before King broke, I was going to say that we've talked a lot about St Helens having the edge with the momentum. The chances maybe haven't been quite as frequent for Warrington, but they've taken them very clinically when they've arrived.
Oh, they certainly have. And that's the thing about playoff rugby league as well. Those opportunities don't come often, so you've got to take them when they do arrive, and that shows you the class of and quality of your team.
Batchelor takes the hit. Didn't have long to think about that from catching the pass. As Knowles sweeps it along the line to Dodd, keeping it alive to Percival. Steps inside, half a gap opening up, elected to let go of that. Again, in hindsight, not the right decision.
No, Paul Wellens will be furious about that. Once again, a pass that didn't need to be made. They had momentum, they had broken them. A quick play of the ball would have been so much better then. Ooh, here we go.
Well, errors starting to creep in from both sides here. This could make it really interesting in these, as we edge into the final quarter of this game.
The game is on a knife edge. The 16 points all. You know, you just got to figure out a way of just slowing it down a little bit. Slowing it down in the context of concentrating. Because that's just concentration, that. Slip of the mind, trying to do something a little bit too quickly, and you give away an error. And you can't do that against the quality of this side, this St Helens team.
Well, the playoff eliminator, as far as tension goes, is not letting us down with this, as Matautia tries to drive his way through, duck underneath the defensive line of the shirts of Primrose and Blue, as St Helens try once more to build some pressure on that try line. Clark adapting half. Centre of the field finds Lomax, keeps it moving to Wellesby. He looked to duck but lost his footing at the same time. But St Helens still picking up the pace. Lomax takes it into the line before offloading to Delaney. 10 metres away from taking the lead again, St Helens. Dodd. Great read from the Warrington defence. Quick play the ball. Grubber kick comes off the feet of the Warrington Wolves defence. It's picked up by Delaney, but a knock-on seen by referee Liam Moore.
Now, when we're talking about desperation, when we're talking about playoff rugby league with ball in hand, that's desperation, that's playoff rugby league defensively. Warrington absolutely scrambling from sideline to sideline, because that's the type of defensive style that St Helens have. And you know what, they were making the right decisions. Lead runner tackled. Ball pass wide, defending players getting over there in numbers. That's desperation, that's what you want to see from your players, that's commitment.
Well, the Wolves will be looking to complete this set without any mistakes. Try to relieve pressure from their own end of the field. Powell has Philbin, another player back after missing last week with a slight knock, not risked by Sam Burgess. And now it's Nicholson. And on the far side of the field, we can just see they're getting ready as St Helens to bring Walmsley back onto this field, as Dufty tries again with his dancing feet to find a way through.
Dufty runs around the field like he's got spiders all over him and nobody wants to touch him. It's just incredible, his agility and the way that he can move on the dot.
This is the last of the set for the Wolves, who are still back inside their own half of the field. Again, another good job in defence for St Helens as the kick goes downfield into the arms of Makinson, who launches himself like a missile back towards the Warrington tacklers. Wellesby.
Big Al's back on the field, slowly making his way over. Here's a carry.
And here he comes. As soon as he walks back on the pitch, his hands in the air, ready to take some work. Clark from acting half. And that cries, I think, there that Knowles was obstructing from the Warrington fans, but the referee not having any of that, and play continues. Dodd with the long kick. Hughes chases it back. Gains good metres with that kick as well. And it gives plenty of time for the Saints defence to trot upfield. Tie. Again, no errors needed here from Warrington Wolves if they want to try and keep their line intact. And St Helens defence moving beautifully forward, but that could be a crucial miss as this break comes from Ashton.
What a tackle from Darryl Clark. That's try time. If he doesn't get it, that's try time. What commitment, Darryl Clark.
And again, another example of not a lot of space, but an error with a tackle, just giving Ashton the room to work as Warrington bring the ball back up the centre of the field again. Great pace from Ashton, great work from St Helens. Once more, kick downfield, feet of Benison. Bit of a skip.
I've got to admit, Sharon, I don't know if either of these teams will have any energy to play next week. They're absolutely throwing everything at each other.
And whoever wins won't obviously have an easy game. If Warrington win, they go to Hull KR, who finished second. If St Helens win, they go to the League Leaders Shield winners, Wigan. But it's fair to say that both these sides will certainly be up for the task if they're the ones that progress. Still plenty to be settled though here this evening as time is starting to tick down. This is the last of the set for St Helens. Dodd with the high kick, getting lost in the night sky now and the floodlights, but nothing phases Dufty. And Dufty just gains a few more metres before playing the ball and getting it away towards the centre of the field. Viewless once again. Ashton, oh, half a gap again for the winger. If he could have kept his feet, he almost launched himself at the gap.
They're just jabbing at each other at the moment, Sharon. They're just jabbing each other, trying to see who's going to give up first. We've got into the final 15 minutes of the game. We're leading up to the final 15 minutes of the game. Energy levels aren't going to be the greatest. Just going to see if anyone's going to just drop off.
Williams gets that ball away to King, and this is the last of the set for the Wolves. Looks to kick, does Williams, and he does in the end after slightly holding it a little longer. It's taken by Wellesby, but again we see a great chase, and it's Nicholson with a tackle.
I can just sense Warrington building at the moment. That 14th man on the field, I'm talking about the fans, are just lifting. They're getting noisier, the stadium. They're all stood in front of us. They're lifting us up. And I just get a sense that Warrington are just starting to build.
If there's any doubt about this atmosphere in here this evening, you can feel it coming through your feet. The amount of noise that the Warrington fans are making around us in this stand as the ball is loose and it's kicked.
Oh, there
and
it
it's
is.
picked up and it's Ashton. Matty Ashton. His second of the game. And how crucial will that be for Warrington Wolves?
We were talking about the small things. We were talking about the energy of the teams. We were talking about the momentum growing for Warrington. And when the momentum's going in your direction, little areas become massive areas for the opposition. And that's exactly what we saw then. Great defensive line set there by Warrington. They got forward, they got pressure on St. Helens. St. Helens are starting to struggle with their energy levels, poor decision making on passes and pass selection. Ball goes to ground, the players aren't up, no one there to jump on the ball, and Warrington just capitalised. Still a lot of skill need to be shown here. Josh Drinkwater there, just a little tap on to Toby King. And Matty Ashton, he loves that try line.
Well, Sam Burgess enjoyed that one.
For almost 65 minutes of this game, the momentum has been with St. Helens. Warrington have had small glimpses of opportunities, and every time they've shown their nose, they've capitalised on it. That's the marking of a great team.
Well, Matty Ashton scored a hat-trick in the last 2 matches, league matches. He's on 2 tonight. I'm sure he'd love a third again, but I'm sure he'd love even more to keep their journey in the playoffs this season alive. And if Josh Thewlis can tag this one on, and of course St. Helens will need a converted try to level it. And with 13 minutes remaining on the clock, who knows what kind of territory that would take us into. Well, Hewlett taking his time, just doing every trick in the book by the looks of things to give his side a little bit of respite. The clock has been stopped by the referee. And again, the noise levels will ramp up inside this stadium if Hewlett can be successful.
Great kick by the young man, under pressure, needing to come up with 2 points just to solidify that if St. Helens are going to get back into this game, they need to score a try and kick the goal. Now, I'm saying that there's still 13 minutes to go in this game. St. Helens will have another say. You see the quality of their players, the quality of their team, the experience that they have in their bank. They will raise their game to this challenge. They will raise the game.
This game is far from over. It is far from certain who it will be going through to the semi-finals next week, despite Warrington just taking that lead. Chances are there are still more points left in this match. If you were thinking of going to get a cup of tea, hang fire.
Don't.
You'll probably end up spilling it if this gets any more tense, so just think of yourselves, people. So Warrington, what can they do? Can they build on that gap? Certainly with the scoreboard in their favour, they can afford maybe to be a little more conservative perhaps in the way that they're playing with ball in hand, but is that what you would want to do?
You can't shut up shop, but you've got to game manage. You've got to make sure that you finish out all your sets. Players like Duff, your outside back, come in and take some of the relief off the forwards in the middle of the park because they're going to have a torrid time defensively, and your kicks need to be long. You need to make them come out, you need to make the opposition come out of their own 22 every time they get the ball. They need to, everything that they earn, you need to make sure that they earn it properly.
Well, on the flip side, as St. Helens come forward with the possession, you mentioned at the start of this half about clock watching, Robbie, and making sure that the time ticking down doesn't get into players' heads, and that's surely now where St. Helens are in this one.
Yeah, the benefit that St. Helens have on their side is that they've got experience, and I think that helps. They're not going to be as overwhelmed by it as if there was the shoe was on the other foot for Warrington. Jake Burns on the field now. You might see some zip-out act in half.
Yeah, fresh legs on from the bench as Percival tries to get around King. Support comes in from his Warrington teammates, and this is the last of the set for St. Helens. 30 metres out, Dodd with the kick. And it's Dufty underneath it. Survives the pressure that Saints tried to put on him. And the Wolves will build from the back again.
The tempo has moved up for St. Helens. Their defensive line is getting quicker. Dufty's just in the background, just down on his foot. He's back up on his feet again. He'll be all right.
He had been injured in these last few weeks, back into the side last week.
Yeah, he's walking it off.
I would imagine adrenaline will kick in as well. Of course, plenty, as we've mentioned, of playoff rugby league to come here on the BBC between now and the end of the season. The grand final at Old Trafford in a fortnight's time. But going through into the autumn, we've still got plenty of rugby league for you. As the internationals, England against Samoa, the men's games on the 27th of October and the 2nd of November. Join us here for both of those, as well as the women's international, England against Wales, also on the 2nd of November. That's a double header. And the wheelchair international, always a belter, England against France. You can see that one on the 26th of October. As Sione Matautia now tries to give a little bit of advantage to St Helens.
Signs are looking really good for Warrington. Big kick in, nice smooth defensive line went down there. Nothing crooked about the defensive line, no gaps. Everything very smooth for them right now, but the pressure is going to come.
Well, here's Wellesby. Look for the dummy, didn't give it. Drinkwater there with a tackle. Walmsley. Bone crunching from Walmsley as he hit that line. This is the last of the set. It's with Lomax, away to Wellesby. And Drinkwater on the spot with the tackle, wrapping up man and ball. And that could be crucial for the Wolves.
Oh, certainly. Time is ticking away. That's what the Wolves, not just St Helens, the Wolves will be looking at their time clock as well. Ooh.
Well, a huge hit.
Not much in it. A penalty will stand. There's still, this is the thing, John, there's still plenty of time on that clock. I know it looks like 8 minutes and like it's an 80-minute game, but it's still a 10th of the game. You're going to get at least 4 more sets. But what you can't do is give any easy rides away. There would have been a good defensive position for St Helens to start their next set. Discipline needs to play a massive part.
There comes Toby King for the Warrington Wolves. And again, it feels we might not have seen Warrington. As Harrison comes up with the error. I was going to say not seen much of Warrington in that sense half for a little while. We're not going to see them now either.
No, and this is what we're talking about. We said with 30 minutes to go, St Helens will have their say. They will get an opportunity. And this is that opportunity. It's what they do with it. Can they capitalize on it? It's not the time in the game where you start to think about building pressure. This is the time where you start thinking about executing on opportunities. Warrington have offered St Helens an opportunity here.
I'd love to know what was going through Sam Burgess's mind at that point. As Burns just stutters a little to get the play away from the base of the scrum. Just gave Warrington's defence chance to get up there as Walmsley again goes with a big carry. Burns once more. Here's Parsi. Sending the big men in, St Helens. Dog back inside. It's building. It's coming from Saints. Here's Wellesby. Fast hands Lomax. And Tommy Makinson, if he was going to get his hat-trick, would have needed arms that would have been around 6 feet long to have taken that pass.
Look, we were saying the opportunities will come. It's whether or not they execute. I still feel with 6 minutes to go, St Helens is still going to get another shot at it as well. So, like you were saying before, start the cup of tea in 6 minutes time, not right now. They're too good a team. Defensively, they'll get ramped up here. They'll fly out of the line because they know that they need to keep Warrington down here. They know they need to force Warrington into another long kick.
So what can the Wolves do? You said about game management, Robbie, as well, and while still from a Warrington side of things in this set anyway, trying to get that ball away from the danger zone. Any errors at the moment from Warrington just sets up St Helens in key positions. That's
100% right. You've got to make sure that your carries are strong, but you have to make sure that your carries are secure. And the more Dufty and George Williams Josh Drinkwater can actually run the ball now, actually will do them well, because they're all great runners of the ball. They all put pressure on the line. They're strong. They get quick play the balls in. And look, there you see Duffy in contact with 3 forwards, and he's carried them nearly 10 metres.
Duffy taking play to the halfway line as the kick comes long on the last. Makinson is underneath it for St Helens. Gives a little offload to Wellesby. Lomax at acting half. St Helens now are the ones trying to find their way up the middle of the field. And Warrington at the moment not letting St Helens get too far forward. Saints will have something to say about that with Burns. Some strong runs from the Saints forwards, but not just finding that crack just yet. Again, Wellesby, little ball to Percival, back inside. Batchelor not quite expecting that, had to backpedal to take it.
Great tackle, Philbin.
This is the last. Dodd finds Lomax, takes on the line, long ball out wide. St Helens looking for the space. Tautier puts the kick through, mopped up by Duffy. And again, Warrington ride the storm.
St Helens can't give any penalties away. Everything needs to be tight. They need to get forward. They're going to have another set. They'll have at least one more set.
Tie just outside his own 30 as Warrington again try and storm up the centre of the field with Yates. Walker back on at acting half. Nice pass back inside to Williams. Just couldn't quite get through that gap. This is the last again. It's Drinkwater with the kick. Not the best of kicks. And while it's loose, it's in acres of space for St Helens, who take it easily. And it's Benison given the task for the first of the set.
Oh, we said they'd get another chance, Sharon. And this is it. There's still 3 minutes. They don't need to rush this. They need to set it up and play it out properly.
Uncomfortable viewing for the Warrington Wolves coaches. The ball steal decision given to St Helens. The kick for touch. Taking them to 40 metres out. And for a second there, it looked like the angled run just might have been enough to see them through a gap, but still, Tautier gets to his feet. The ball played to Burns. Centre of the field with Parsi.
Move! Give me step again.
20 out.
Ball 2.
Burns. Here's Dodd. He's got the support from Lomax, keeping it moving to Wellesby, back inside to Percival. Lovely hands from St Helens. Well seen from Warrington Wolves. Wellesby goes himself to Wormsley. Big man straight up the centre of the field. Tries a handoff. Burns waits again patiently, shipping it out the other way this time to Lomax, keeping it moving. The Tautier into the corner for Benison. And the referee isn't sure yet. We're adding to the tension. We're going to the video referee. The indication on the field is a try. Has Benison got it?
What are they doing to me?
Okay, it's tackle 4. We have a live call of try. We're checking the touchline and the grounding. Just go back on that, please. He's in possession of the ball. Have you got the reverse angle on that, please, just to ensure that his feet are always up? Yeah, go on this now. Okay, if you go to camera 3, please. Okay, he's in the field of play and he grounds the ball. I'm happy with the angles I need. I've made my decision.
So the attentions from Josh Thewlis in defence, but John Benison has got it. He's put St Helens back to within 2 points with a kick to come.
And St Helens, they do that so well. They set up a big right side play. numbers around there that pull the defensive line all the way to one side of the field just so they can come back and open the far side. But I tell you what, we were saying it before, cometh the hour, cometh the man. The experience is what it's counted for. But there we see it. Numbers out wide, lead runners going through, players out the back, finding the space, getting the edge, player out the back. Great pass, just holds up. Hewlett long enough for John Benison just to have that small gap on the sideline. But I tell you what, heartbreaker if St. Helens' season comes down to just this kick.
Well, the kicks come much bigger than this.
I don't think this stadium's ever been noisier.
The Warrington fans doing the best they can to put Mark Percival off. Saints fans can't stand the tension. Mark Percival for St. Helens to level it.
Wow. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. He stepped up. He stepped up again.
22 apiece, and look at the clock. Look at the clock.
Could we have asked for a better game? I'm shaking. I didn't even support these teams. I'm shaking.
Cool as a cucumber, Mark Percival. He clearly wasn't shaking when he converted that to tie things on the final whistle. We go to golden points, extra time. So both sides in their huddles, just taking a chance to get their breath, sort things out. And if you wanted drama in the playoffs of Super League this season, you've got it here at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. Put that cup of tea on hold a little bit longer. We're not done yet. So, both sides take their places again on the field. We go again, Robbie.
We do, and just to explain, if you're new to rugby league, watching at home, what is golden point? Well, golden point is the first team to score any point. Could be a penalty kick, could be a drop kick, could be a try, you name it. You get the point, you win the game. And I think that in golden point, you play 10 minutes each way, and the first team to score. So, field position is the name of the game. Don't make any errors in your own half, because it becomes a drop kick-a-thon. And in both teams, you've got some outstanding drop kickers.
So St. Helens get us going again. They'll be looking for the error. Warrington, as Robbie says, will be looking to get upfield and get that field position. You see chances of drop goals when it comes to this stage of matches, when it's knockout football. And whoever gets through this one will certainly deserve their place in the semi-finals. Warrington looking to make ground. Walker from acting half, slips. And a penalty, high tackle.
So from this point in St. Helens, so the whole game, the whole dynamic of the game changes here. Warrington going to kick the ball. They're probably going to gain another 20 to 25 metres from this kick from Josh Drinkwater. What St. Helens need to do now is get out of the blocks defensively and stop Warrington from getting into drop goal range. Towards the back end of the sets, the fourth and fifth tackle, the markers needs to get ready, because they're going to have to chase down someone who's going to have a drop kick.
Nicholson tackled. Momentum at the moment then with the Warrington Wolves. Powell straightens things up. Start looking. start looking for the kickers. Who was in a good position?
Discipline, boys.
Warrington will take it in a little bit further with Philbin. Edging a little closer, they'll want to be nearer. They look back. And Warrington now, within 10, they are in an ideal position. Can they execute the drop goal? It's back to Williams. Williams to charge down from St Helens. Percival drops on the possession.
Wow, wow. To that start, I mean, if you went back to the replay, I would question whether or not the St Helens markers were in position, but it doesn't matter. It's game on, it's play on. What a charge down by Morgan Knowles.
Well, it could be Knowles getting the freedom of St Helens for that. Depending on what happens in these next few minutes.
Ball retention is so important here. You just need to get up the field and get a massive kick in. Oh, passing the ball. That's heart attack time.
Hearts will be beating in this crowd.
Mine is.
In mouths.
Mine's beating.
As it comes across, and the kick from Percival goes straight out on the full. Not what he would have been looking for, but St. Bart's just running out of options there.
Yeah, St Helens have gifted Warrington 2 opportunities here. Johnny Lamb, actually, I agree. I saw what was going on. There was space. Warrington had got into the backfield. There was space out on this left edge. But, you know, like we're saying, the pressure of playoff football, of Golden Point football, does crazy things to you. Get the kick, get the ball downfield, play in the opposition's half.
Yates then with the drive. Warrington again looking to set themselves up with a position where they can try to execute a drop goal as Pittman almost turned in that tackle. The hips almost lifted a little too far. St Helens just regained control of that tackle. And now it's Philbin again with the carry. Walker urging a quick play at the ball. It goes to Powell. This is the last of the set. Again, Warrington will be looking to ship this ball back. It goes to Williams with a drop goal attempt. Is that good? It's good!
He's kicked it.
The referee indicates it's good. And there are scenes in these crowds here at Warrington. For the first time since 2018, Warrington Wolves have won a playoff match. It could still be their year. An incredible finish to this game. George Williams with the drop goal. We talked during the game about needing big players to step up for the big occasions. And it's the England captain who has done it for his Warrington Wolves side in a game that hasn't lacked anything. Intensity, drama, 2 sides desperate to keep their season alive. And it's George Williams who manages to do it for Warrington Wolves. Sends them through to the semi-final next week. They will play Hull Kingston Rovers. Wigan will play Lee. And for St Helens, it's where their season for 2024 comes to an end. They have left nothing out on this field. But it's the Warrington Wolves who will progress and keep their year alive. Sam Burgess looking cool and collected at the final whistle. Probably a hint of relief there as well. It's not relief in the stands, it's absolute joy from the Warrington Wolves supporters. They will see their team next week with the trip across the M62 to Hull Kingston Rovers, who finished in 2nd place. So a breathless evening at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. It's gone to Golden Point, and it's Warrington Wolves who've edged it against St Helens by